So today we are going to do something which I haven't done for the longest time, and we are going to have a taste of some British sweet treats. So yesterday I went out and I bought a bag full of things which I think is not available in the US. It might be available somewhere else in the world, I'm not sure, but these I believe are very, very British centric treats. They consist of biscuits and chocolate bars. So let's get stuck in. So here we are. As you can see, we've got quite a few different ones there. Now the first one I want to mention is a Cadbury's flake. Now these are definitely smaller than they used to be, and they used to be wrapped in like a paper, but now it's plastic. Yes, and this was part of a multi-pack. You probably noticed there, it does say it's a multi-pack bar, not for resale. Now, last night I was watching TV and I felt quite peckish and I had 3 of these. I know, it's really bad, but these are really nice and I never think about getting these. So the tagline for this one is the crumbliest, flakiest milk chocolate. And years ago there used to be an ad, used to come on the TV, and it used to be a girl kind of on a boat or a girl painting in a field, and the idea was that it was never a guy, it was always a girl. But I remember there used to be this advert where this girl was painting this landscape thing, and it started raining, and the watercolours on her easel started running, and it was a disaster basically after she'd spent so many hours doing it. And of course everything was okay because she happened to have a flake in her pocket, so she opened a flake and started eating it, and everything in the world was okay again. So there we go. Now let's have an open of this. Like I said, these are definitely smaller than they used to be. And that's kind of what they look like. It's like a and you can see the texture there is quite crumbly. And this is milk chocolate. Now this was developed back in 1920 by Ralph Thompson, who was an employee at Cadbury's in Bourneville factory. He noticed that thin streams of excess chocolate were falling from molds and cooled into flaky ripples. So by 1930, Cadbury's was selling half-length flakes specifically for garnishing vanilla soft-serve ice cream in a cone, or a 99 flake, as it is called. Now, this would later go across Ireland, Australia, South Africa, and other nations. And the later product Twirl, which I've got here, that is the Twirl. It's 2 flake style bars of chocolate which are laid in milk chocolate themselves, but we'll come on to Twirl in a bit. So these are no longer manufactured in England, in Bourneville. And it's such a shame because it really was a nice thing to have something created and produced in its home country, but now it is created in Dublin and in Egypt. Why it gets made in Egypt, I don't know, but it is a quintessentially British chocolate bar. Let's have a taste of it. It's absolutely gorgeous now. What's special about flake is that it doesn't melt. It melts in the mouth very easily. It just crumbles, and it's just nice and creamy milk chocolate, which is distinctively Cadbury's. But it doesn't melt in your hand, not like you'd expect it to. Gorgeous. Highly recommended. If you ever come to England, you need to buy a flake, and maybe you can buy it in the international section of Walmart or wherever. I think the last time I was in the States, there was an aisle for British confectionery, but I'm going to be like a house hen by the end of this video, so I am going to put this down, even though it is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so the next one we're going to look at is a Whisper Gold. There it is. That's the packet. And Whisper Gold is a textured milk chocolate bar with a soft caramel centre. Yeah, there you go. So you get 4 bars in this. Sometimes it's just as cheap to buy multi-pack than buy a single one. And it tells you there that it is 192 calories per bar, and it is 100% sustainably sourced cocoa. And that's the back. Now I wonder where this was made. Yeah. So they say that we are passionate about great quality Cadbury products, but this was made in Dublin. This was made in Dublin. So let's open this and see what we think of it. I have another Whisper Gold for some time now. There's a Whisper Gold, and there's one for you too. There you go. So we can open this together. So again, it's got that distinctive Cadbury's logo, purple. Cadbury's is always purple, and this is a Whisper Gold. Now, let's have a look inside. Of course, you can get a traditional Whisper bar. It's great, it's called a Whisper too, which is really ironic, isn't it? But this, the regular Whisper bar is just plain textured chocolate, and it's beautiful. But this has got caramel, soft caramel in the middle. As you can see there, the bar itself is smaller than what it used to be again. Or is it that my mouth has got bigger? Probably that one, to be honest. Let's break it open and see what it looks like. as you can see, soft caramel in the middle. And it's really runny, it's gone everywhere. I'll put this bit down because again I don't want to be like a house end. There we go. A nice chocolate with a nice soft caramel center. Now, I've got to be honest. I think I prefer the original Whisper. See, with the original Whisper, I wouldn't be eating it as quick as what I am now. I generally like to savour chocolate. I take a tiny bite and just let it melt in the mouth. But this one, I'm trying to get through all of these, so I'm not savouring it as much. But there's nothing wrong with Whisper Gold. It is a lovely chocolate bar. The problem that I have is I just prefer regular chocolate without the caramel. But again, I think you will love Whisper Gold. You will love Whisper Bar too. So that is Whisper Gold. Okay, next we're going to go into a biscuit. Now this, you couldn't get any more British than this. So these are called tonics and tea cakes. And these are a Scottish confectionery company which is based in Uddingston, Scotland. And it's still apparently a family business. There you go. So it was established in 1890 and is still a family business. So this was this company was formed in 1890. 1890, and it was a baker's shop. And the company expanded in the 1950s and introduced their line of confectionery. So these are called tea cakes. And to be honest, these are an iconic Scottish brand, and the packaging features a Scottish lion rampant. A very proud Scottish brand. Now this is usually served with a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, and it was developed in 1956. And the product consists of a small round shortbread biscuit covered in like an Italian meringue dome with whipped egg white concoction similar to a marshmallow, although it is lighter in texture. So let's have a look. Now you can also get dark chocolate tea cakes as well, but I've never had the dark ones. So let's get into this. It's got a little pull section there. I don't normally eat this kind of stuff on a morning. I mean, it's Sunday morning, and I'm trying to be as quiet as I possibly can. There you go. That is a Dunnock's tea cake. You can see there that it's quite distinctive. Milk chocolate and mallow. So, let's open it. itself. Let that focus. Still hasn't quite focused, has it? There you go. So, without further ado, let's have a bite. I love these. So this here, this mallow, it is very much like marshmallow, to be honest, but it's very incredibly light, and the biscuit at the bottom just kind of gives it that texture, that little bit of crunch, but the chocolate itself, it's not Cadbury's style, it's not as creamier, but that compensates because of the mallow inside. So these are so yummy, I love them. Can't you get them anywhere else though? I'm not sure, to be honest. They are so nice. I can pop one of these in my mouth and just do it in one go, to be honest. But I won't. So that's the tonic tea cake, and that's the box they come in. Moving on and staying with tonics, we've got these. Now these are Tonics caramel wafers. These again are a British staple, and they are just so nice. Again, the Tonics emblem, and they are still the original size, so they haven't been reduced because of, I don't know, there's some kind of law now that a chocolate bar must be so many calories or some kind of size, but Tonics have stayed true to their original size. And if you look there, still very retro style biscuits. It looks very wholesome, very 1950s almost. You get 8 in a pack, and each biscuit contains 7% energy, 7% fat, 12% sugars, and 3% salt. And you also get these in dark chocolate too. So let's break this open. That's the caramel wafer itself. Right. Let's have a look and see how this tastes. So more than 7 million of these biscuits are made and sold every week. Wow. And that's kind of what it looks like inside. And it's got this distinctive paper wrapper, not plastic, even though the packet was plastic. These come in like a paper foil. And if I just break that open, I've got chocolate all over down here. There you go. And that's what it's like inside. There you go. Nice. So, let's have a bite. I love these. Again, something I've grown up eating. There's bits of caramel in between the wafer, and it's so yummy. Very chewy as well. I love Tonics wafers. Again, I'm not going to eat the full thing because I've still got quite a few to get through. And the next thing I'm going to show you is something which I love, and it's another biscuit. Now I'm going to show you this. It is Jaffa Cakes. Jaffa, Jaffa Cakes. Now again, these are a quintessentially British, I believe, biscuit. Very, very popular. You don't have to buy these big boxes. You can just buy a pack of Jaffa Cakes, I think. Let's open it up and see what it is. This is the Jaffa Cake itself. This is what they look like. So these were introduced to by McVitie, which is the company name, in 1927, and they were named after Jaffa oranges. So they are circular, flat, and they have 3 layers, which is a sponge base, quite soft there as well. If you feel it, it's quite spongy. So a sponge base, then it has a layer of orange coloured jam, or an orange flavoured jam, and then it has a coating of dark chocolate. There you go, you see the orange inside. Now, these are really Moorish as well. Now, I would normally think of an orange jam in a chocolate bar, but this kind of works in a Jaffa Cake. You have these with a cup of tea. Well, of course you do. Everybody in Britain has cups of tea. But these are so nice. But are they an acquired taste? When you're eating them, it's just as light as air. There's nothing heavy about a Jaffa Cake. You get lots of different variations of Jaffa Cakes from other rival companies, but McVitie's are the original and the best. Apparently there's been very different flavours as well, which has been available, such as blackcurrant, these special edition flavours, but I've never tried them. But that is a Jaffa Cake. I'll put this over there with the pile of other chocolate bars I've gone through already. Right, do forgive the mess that I've got here as well. It's quite a lot of crumbly chocolate flakes everywhere. What should we go with next? Right. Let's go with a crunchy bar. Now I believe I've covered a crunchy bar in the past, in that old video that I did years ago, which was shot probably with an iPhone at the time. The crunchy bar itself. Again, these have grown a lot smaller than what they were back in the day, and they are really nice. So it is chocolate, milk chocolate with a honeycomb centre. There you go. Is the crunchy bar itself, but inside honeycomb. So let's break it open and have a look. There you go. A honeycomb center. And the chocolate is quite thick, but it really complements the honeycomb center. It's a little bit like center toffee. I love crunchy bars. It's just so satisfying as well. Just that crunch. It's just so satisfying. You do get smaller versions of these in, I think it's called Heroes. Cadbury's do a little bite-size sweets, candies, and Crunchy's one of them, but it's never the same in that. Not like this. There's something about the thick chocolate. It's a substantial sort of bite you can make with this size, but the smaller ones are just tiny. It just doesn't quite work as much, but that is a crunchy. Okay, so I'm just looking online now, and it's saying that Crunchy is a brand of honeycomb toffee, known as sponge toffee in Canada, or honeycomb or cinder toffee in the UK, and it's called Hokey Pokey in New Zealand. I didn't know that. So it was launched in 1929. The next thing we're going to look at is a toffee crisp. Now these are not made by Cadbury. These are made by Nestle, which do have lots of different bars around the world. So Nestle, you get 4 bars in this pack. Now these were originally Macintosh, I believe, which was a chocolate company, a confectioner which was based in Halifax here in England. So I'm not sure how the toffee crisp fares around the world. It might be available, might not be available. But let's have a look at the toffee crisp. So that is what the pack looks like. Again, a very small chocolate bar with an orange wrapper. It tells you there what it contains, which is peanuts. It contains peanuts and see caramel and like a Rice Krispie style. Let's see if I can get that to zoom in. Yeah, it's a very Rice Krispie style base as well. So let's have a taste. Very, very good. One of my favorites. Again, the chocolate isn't quite Cadbury's. It isn't as creamy as Cadbury's. But Nestle chocolate is really nice on its own. But I do like the texture of the crisp. Very crunchy, and the added toffee makes it very yummy. Very chewy and crunchy. Really nice. Do let me know if you can get toffee crisps where you are. But these are one of my favourites. It reminds me a little bit of a Lion bar, which again is made by Nestle, but I didn't purchase any Lion bars. I'm sure I might have covered it years ago in the video that I made, but that is a toffee crisp. Right, I've got a right mess here. Right, we'll look at this. This is a Terry's chocolate orange. So this is made with real chocolate oil. You can get dark chocolate and milk chocolate. And this has been going since 1932. 1932, so that's been going quite a while. We never seem to get many new variations of chocolate bars. It seems like they were all done in the early 20th century, the 20s, the 30s. So all of these chocolate bars are pretty much, been around for many, 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 many years. We never seem to get any new ones now. Is it because we've exhausted everything? Who knows? So the Terry's chocolate orange looks like this when you look on this camera. Yeah, it looks like that. It's round. So it's got the Terry's logo on the top there, and it actually looks like an orange. So it's a chocolate bar wrapped in this lovely foil. Now Terry's chocolate is based in York, here in England, which is only about a 90-minute drive from here. I've actually been to the chocolate factory in York. Now, this was created in 1932, as I said, and the brand has changed ownership several times, and the production was moved to Poland in 2005. And then since 2018, the Terry's chocolate orange has been produced in Strasbourg, France. So it looks like Terry's isn't a thing anymore. It's got the brand name, but it doesn't exist. Why is all these UK chocolates now made in other countries? I guess it gets taken over by different companies. Okay, so if you can see in this other camera, you look inside that, and it's almost like in segments. It really is like a work of art. There you go. And it comes apart like that into segments. So each segment is kind of like a slice of orange, a segment of orange. There you go. So I'll put that down. But the packaging really is exquisite in these chocolate oranges. And the chocolate itself is absolutely to die for. It just, chocolate and orange really combine really nicely. And it's so creamy, so rich. And it's a slow melt. And the orange is just so nice and creamy, and the chocolate texture is just amazing. Now these are really nice. Sickly maybe. I couldn't have too many of them. Yeah, it's hard to talk while you're eating as well. Super nice. Have you tried a Terry's chocolate orange? Do let me know if you have. Mr. Kipling's Bakewell slices. Okay, so these brand, Mr. Kipling, is a brand of cakes, pies and baked goods from South Yorkshire and Stoke-on-Trent. So these are marketed in the UK, Ireland, Australia and in North America. So they have been going since May 1967, at a time when cakes were more bought often from local bakers. So these were created to sell at supermarkets and quickly became the UK's largest cake manufacturer by 1970s. Yeah, and it says there, exceedingly good, and it is lovingly baked in Britain. So Mr. Kipling Bakewell slices are pastry laid with fruity jam and frangipane sponge, if I pronounced that right, topped with white fondant icing. Sounds really nice. Let's have a look to see what it's like. I do like these cakes. Okay. So these actually come in small, so you get 2 in a pack, but then there'll be another one. So there's 3 twin packs in there, which is ideal because once the air gets to these cakes, it can become very stale. So again, single-use plastic. It's a wonder we haven't got something new to use instead of plastic. You might already have these in your country, in your area, your regions, but that is the Bakewell slice. There we go. So it's nice and spongy, and you can see the jam, the sponge and the fondant icing on the top. Really nice. You get that almond taste as well. Starting to feel a little bit overdosing on the sugar this morning. I might have those later. The last chocolate bar we are going to look at is the Twirl. So we started with Cadbury's and we are going to end with Cadbury's. This is a Twirl bar. So these are 2 chocolate fingers in the pack. There you go. So these are actually smaller than the ones that you would buy in the store. These are a multi-pack ones, so about, I would say, 3/4 the size. But these are very, very, very similar to the flake, as in, you know, it's crumbly, it's kind of rippled chocolate inside. But the difference being is these are dipped in milk chocolate after that. Let's have a look. We get 2 chocolate fingers, and the chocolate's already flaking off, and if I break one in half, yep, crumbly inside, but unlike the flake, it doesn't fall all over the place. So the milk chocolate that's covering it kind of keeps it binded together. chocolate is just amazing. It's so sweet, so creamy. Wow. I've got the biggest mess on this table ever. There's half open packets, half eaten chocolate bars everywhere. So I've got a bit of tidying up to do here. And I think